Hi everyone, I'm Nicole xstitch. Today is August 10th, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 16. As of today, I have stitched 196,422 stitches since I started stitching in 2020, and I have stitched a whopping 11,052 stitches since my last video. So I'm really excited to show you all of the progress I've made in the last month. I think there's a lot to show, and I'm really excited because in the next video, I'll probably have passed the 200,000 stitch mark, which is really exciting. So I'm on a new video schedule, right? I'm only releasing one video a month. It's been a long time since my last video because I really wanted to release a video last weekend and I just wasn't able to do it. I got too busy to film, unfortunately. So I feel like I have a lot to share with you today. Please get yourself a drink or something. You're gonna need it. Buckle in, get your stitching, enjoy, and let's jump right in. So I'm gonna start with some things about my STEM xstitch Etsy shop, which I have been really enjoying. Just, you know, finally having an Etsy shop. It's something I thought I would do since like I was in high school, but I never really knew what I would sell until, you know, a couple years ago. I hadn't even started cross stitching, so I had no clue that this is what my Etsy shop would end up being. So last month I teased my release for August, and I think I mentioned that it was going to be a trio of patterns that were all kind of like related to each other, that all went together. And I showed you a little sneak peek and I asked people to guess if they could think of what it might be. Please appreciate the sound of children playing in around the neighborhood. They are having a good time, but a loud time. Anyway, so my new release is a set of 3 patterns that I'm calling the Botany Series. So it's Botany 1, 2, and 3. And I guess I'll just show you. Here's what they look like. Let me make sure you can see it okay. I'm always a little bit unsure of where to get it to the camera. There we go. So this is the Botany Series, the dark version. So you can see it has, my watch thinks I'm talking to her. I have 3 different pieces, 3 different pieces of chemistry glassware with little terrariums in them. So little plants, each one has a couple little insects or something like that. I think they turned out really cute. I really like them. And I both have the dark version, but I also have, these ones aren't framed right now. I got one set of frames to picture and put like and swap them out for all the pictures. So these are just finished on some foam core, but I'm gonna see if I can hold them all at once. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here is the light version. It's pretty similar. Like the colors are pretty similar, just some of the like white and whitish colors have been changed a little bit so they pop off of the bright white fabric, and of course the outline of the glassware is in a different color. So let me just hold one of these up next to each other. Woo! So you can see the difference in those. So yeah, this is the Botany Series. So some of the details for the patterns, the models are all stitched on 18 count Aida, 2 strands over 1 with DMC. I've only called for colors in DMC, so they should be easy to find the floss you need. And they are around 2,000 stitches a piece, so not huge. And they fit really nicely in these frames, which I believe are 5 by 7. I feel like I should know that for sure, but I don't. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. Otherwise, it's 5x7. It's 5x7. It is on my Etsy shop right now. You can buy them individually if you want to just stitch one, or you can buy all 3 of the patterns as a bundle if you want to do a little trio like this. I think it looks super cute in this little trifold frame. It actually sits on my dresser in this room, so I've been really enjoying looking at it all the time now too. Yeah, I also want to say a huge thank you to the people who helped me model stitch these. Let's see if I can remember who stitched what. So the lovely Michelle Bendy Stitchy stitched this one, and the amazing Martha, who you may remember helped me model stitch my Rolling Hills pattern, stitched both colors, like both the light and the dark version of the beaker. And then I stitched this one, and let's see, my lovely mom stitched this one. Thanks, Mom. And then I stitched this one. So it was really a team effort to model stitch 6 different patterns. I think I definitely got my work cut out for me by deciding to release a trio of patterns all in 2 colors. But I really like releasing multiple like colorways of a pattern. I think it not only like gives people more options, like maybe somebody doesn't want to stitch on black Aida. That was like the main thing I was thinking, because I think these look amazing on black Aida, and I really like the look of stitching on black Aida, and I don't mind actually like the process of stitching on it. It's a little bit harder, but if you have bright light, it's not so bad for me. But I know some people really don't like stitching on dark fabric, so having a light version as well is really nice, and people don't have to like think about their own conversion so much, if you know what I mean. Like, it's lower hanging fruit than like having to rechart the pattern yourself or something like that. So yeah, that is the Botany series. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm finally releasing this. I think this might be my favorite of like the patterns that I've released so far. I know there aren't that many, but this feels like it really captures like STEM, xstitch, you know, science and stitching, and it's something that I haven't really seen in cross stitch before, so I'm really excited about these. I hope you guys like them. Please check out my Etsy shop and pick up a copy of this pattern if you want. It is a PDF on Etsy, and it comes with a Pattern Keeper compatible version as well. You can get and if you buy like this pattern, you get both the light and the dark version, and if you buy the whole trio, you also get both the light and the dark version. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I'm really excited for it to be out there in the world. Okay, so I also wanted to mention, if you stick around to the end of the video, I will be doing a little giveaway, so just stay tuned for that. All right, so let's move on to the whole normal Flosstube part: finishes, whips, stats, all of that, plans. Okay, so 2 of my finishes, I had 3 finishes since I saw you last. 2 of them were for the Botany series, the 2 that I stitched, and the other one is this one, pretty big finish since it's a full coverage piece. This is Ocean Wave 341 by ZephyrMood. I feel like it looks better farther away, right? Because it's like this aerial view, and if you get too close up, it's kind of pixely, but from far away, I really do think it looks like an ocean wave hitting the shore from above. So pattern by ZephyrMood. This I stitched also 2 strands over 1 on 18 count. That made it fit in a 6-inch hoop like perfectly. This is a total of 9,532 stitches. So even though it's like only in a 6-inch hoop, it was a lot of stitching. And I started it back on March 1st, finished it on July 14th. It took me a total of 48 stitching days to stitch this. So a lot more time. A lot more time. Most of the Botany series took me, like one of them took me 6 days, the other one took me 10. Also, counting your stitching time in days is kind of arbitrary, right? Because one day you might stitch 50 stitches and another day you stitch 400. So that's why, even though the Botany series patterns are pretty much all similar size, like one of them took me 6 days and one of them took me 10, just because of how much stitching I actually got to do on the day. Okie dokie, that is all my finishes, which are also all fully finished, so that's exciting. Let me rearrange my computer screen. On to whips, yeah? Okay, so here's one that I finally worked on again. You may remember Hidden Harbor, which is my current Heaven and Earth design. And I will put in a picture of the finished piece here, or like I'll put in either the mock-up or the painting, I'm not sure which. I'm doing the color expansion version, so it's got a lot of colors in it. I think it looks really gorgeous. And here is where I'm at right now. So, got that top corner really finished, and there was a lot more like kind of color blocking up there, and now I'm down into like this section, and it's a lot more dispersed. So lots of kind of confetti areas, lots of jumping around. It's a little bit slower progress because of that, but I'm really excited to see like when some of this starts getting filled in how it looks. Also, maybe if you're curious, I can do this. Here's what my back looks like. Pretty crazy. I carry my threads all over, no shame. I also started ending my threads a little differently. So I've talked about this several times before, but what I used to do was just from wherever the last stitch I was doing of a color, travel like 10 to 20 stitches away, pull up the end of the thread and snip it off, and then just leave the tail hanging until I get stitching close to it and I know I've adequately covered the tail, and then I snip it off. That works fine if you have like a decent amount of color blocking, but when you get into really heavy confetti spaces, and this is the first time I've really done that with this kind of a method, I was having a really hard time like getting all of these little tiny tails out of the way so that I could stitch around them, and they were kind of getting in my way. So what I started doing instead is I would travel 10 to 20 stitches away, and then I would pin stitch. I'm pin stitching the end of the thread and then snipping it off. So there's no tail hanging, there's just some random pin stitches hanging around that will get stitched over in whatever color is actually supposed to be in that square. And the coverage of the pin stitches seems to be fine so far. I'm not too concerned about it. So that's my new method, and eventually once I fill in this section a little bit more, I won't have any of these tails anymore, which I think will be really, really nice. I'm really tempted to just cut them all off right now, but I don't want a thread to come loose, so I'm trying to bear with the process and know that soon it will be less chaotic. So like I said, this is a Heaven and Earth design. I'm doing it on Easy Count Lugana, which is in the 10 by 10 grid. Love having pre-gridded fabric. This is 25 count, and I'm doing it 2 over 1/2 stitch. So it also makes it go so much faster than it would if it was full cross. So right now I have 19,710 stitches done, but there is a total of 135,150 stitches. So I am at 14.58%. If you've been watching for a while, you may know that this has been called on my Whip Go several times, and I'm actually kind of behind on my goals for this piece on Whip Go. So it's actually been called for finishing up to 20%, and I've been lagging behind on that goal. So I'm hoping that I can do some catch up this month. Probably won't get all the way up to 20%, but let's get a little closer hopefully. And just to give you kind of a sense of how long it's taken me to get this far, I have stitched on it on 44 different days. So 44 days of work into this guy so far. All right, so this will continue to come out for the rest of the month, but for now it can go away. Okay. The only other active whip that I have right now, I have a few other whips that if you watch my last video, I did a whip parade, so I brought out all of my current whips, even ones I hadn't worked on for a long time. I'll put that up in the cards on one of the sides. Go ahead and take a look there if you want to see my other whips. But as for ones that I've actually touched since the last video, this is a new start in a current whip. This is my current bust project. Let me just put it in the mock-up first. So this is Green Birdsong Butterfly by Harp Designs. I'll just let them have their fun for a second. So I am stitching this one differently than the pattern. I'm not doing the like wreath of leaves around it. I'm just doing the butterfly in the middle. While they're having fun, I'll just show you what it's looking like so far. So pretty good progress. I am doing this one on 25 count white Lugana even weave. So same as the Heaven and Earth design, but this one I'm doing 1/1 full cross. Every like butterfly or moth that I'm stitching is getting done exactly the same like that. So 1/1 on 25 count white Lugana, because my goal is to one day have them all in hoops, all like hanging up on a wall together as kind of like a themed cross stitch butterfly wall. So I'm trying to make them all look like nice and uniform. This piece so far, I'm doing it in DMC. I'm 2,147 stitches in. It's got a total of 4,810 for just this butterfly, not counting the wreath. So I'm 44.64% done, and I am like zooming through this. It's my bust project, and bust project all in one color, plus I have a longer commute now. I've gotten a lot of stitching done, which has been really nice. I only started this on August 3rd. Today's August 10th, so 7 days of work has gotten me almost halfway done. And I decided I'm just gonna do all of the black first and then fill in the colors, because why not? I thought maybe at first I was just gonna like do half the butterfly in black and then fill it in the color and then do the other half. But then I just kept going. I have this like weird method, maybe some of you do this too. So like if I have a really big section of one color in a pattern, like big color blocking, I will cut off like a whole, all 6 strands of that color, like a big long piece, and I'll like stitch until I use up all the strands. If I just had like a little section of the color, what I would do, is this like a weird thing to explain? What I would do is I would unwrap the thread from the bobbin to the point I want to cut, and then I put that in the notch at the top of the bobbin, and I trim just one thread off, pull it off, wrap the remaining 5 strands back up and put it away. But for big color blocks, I would just cut off all 6 strands at the same time, and then I would just like pull from that loose piece of thread so that I don't have to keep winding and unwinding the bobbin. So all that to say is this gets me into a big spiral of just like playing chicken between finishing all 6 strands and finishing a nice section on the piece. So like, let's just say I cut off 6 strands, and by the end of me stitching that 1/1 full cross, I still have like this tip of the butterfly wing left. I'm not just gonna go start in a different color, but I'm also not just gonna trim off 1 more strand. I'm gonna trim off 6 more strands because I still have this whole other side, and then I'm just gonna keep going again. So until the magical point where I either finish all of that color or I like finish both a really nice section and all 6 strands of the floss at the same time, I'm just gonna get lost in the cycle of which one is unfinished. I hope that made sense to somebody. I don't know if it did. So that is my whip progress so far. And that is all of the cross stitch that I have to show you right now. But I do have some July stats to share with you from my lovely book. Still sticking with the book, changed my fountain pen color this time. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I do these pages in fountain pen ink. So I got a nice green pen and then switched to some pink ink at the end of the month. I got kind of into fountain pens. My dad and I got into fountain pens. That was like my hobby before cross stitch. I've cycled through many hobbies in my life, but when I was in college, I was really into like hand lettering and calligraphy, and also bullet journaling, which then sidetracked me into the world of fountain pens. I still really love fountain pens. I think they're really fun. Love all the ink colors. They're so nice to write with, and so I do try to use them when I can. And this is one of the times that I get to use them. So anyway, for July, I had one new start, which was Botany 1, the dark version. I had 2 finishes, Botany Light 3, and also the Ocean Wave 341. I didn't actually finish Botany 1, the dark one that I was stitching, until like the first day of August. I was like 1 day off. And then I made progress on Hidden Harbor as well. I missed a lot of stitching days. I had a lot of no stitching days in July, which was for a couple reasons. So I only stitched on 24 out of 31 days, and that is because I was both moving and my family came and visited. So I just had a lot of other things I was doing in the evenings instead, even if I didn't necessarily want to be moving heavy things around instead of cross stitching. I stitched 8,300 stitches in the month exactly, and ended the month with 5 current whips, 11 finishes this year, 54 finishes since I started cross stitching. Yeah, so those are my July stats, and I will give you the little updated graph for my stitching progress this year with each month stitching. So you can see it dipped down in progress for a little bit, it came back up. It's really volatile just depending on the month and how busy I am. I do have a general goal of trying to hit 100,000 stitches by the end of this year, and currently I'm sitting at 55,785 like at the end of July. So based on that, I need to do I think about 8,800 stitches a month until the end of the year to actually hit 100,000. I think that's possible, but it's gonna be a stretch, so we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. Maybe around the holidays I'll get a lot of stitching because I'll have like some time off of work and I'll be traveling, but then also like maybe I won't get as much stitching because I'll be spending time with family and all of that, so really don't know. We'll just have to see how it happens. Okay, and then let's briefly talk about plans. So plans are keep working on Hidden Harbor. That's a whip go catch up. Hopefully get it up to 20%, but that's probably not going to happen by the end of the month. So that's an ongoing goal. Also, goal is to finish Green Birdsong Butterfly, which was a whip go call for last month that I didn't even start last month. So this is a whip go catch up as well. I think I can finish this one since I'm almost halfway done and we're only a third of the way through the month, and it's going to keep being my best project. Instead of screaming kids, now we have a meowing cat. It's a fun day of sounds. Then whip go calls for this month that will be my next priorities after this. So this will be my best project until I'm done with it. Hidden Harbor will be my at-home project, probably all month. Then I have mini art Girl with the Pearl Earring. I'll put up the mock-up of that here. Haven't started it yet, but it's a whip go call for this month, so it'll be my next best project after the butterfly. And then my other whip go call for this month is, I'm not sure if this is the actual name, but it's Starry Night Cat. It's a starry night through the window and there's a cat sitting on the windowsill. there's the mock-up. This is from Lola cross stitch, and I just think it's so stinking cute. She has a bunch of patterns like this with like windows and a cat sitting on the windowsill, and then some like crazy scene outside, like Bigfoot or like aliens landing, and then Starry Night. So if you think those are cool ideas, you should go check them out. They're all awesome. My other plan for this month is that I want to work on designing a new pattern. Botany is actually the last pattern that I have actually designed at this point. So right now I have like no concrete plan for a new release next month, because I haven't come up with anything yet. So we'll just see if it happens. I don't know, I have to get some inspiration. Drop some inspiration in the comments if you have something in mind. Maybe it'll like spark an idea for me. I don't know. So that may or may not happen, but I don't want to like pressure myself into designing something just to do it. I want to really like how it turns out, and I want to have an idea, and I want to be inspired to do it. So that's just kind of like a loose goal. Okay. I think that throws me into the purchases / happy mail / presents section. I say presents because it was actually my birthday at the end of July, and so I got some cross-stitching gifts from people, and I'm also realizing they're not in this room with me, so I'm gonna have to go grab those. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some really lovely cross-stitching related accessories and gifts for my birthday, mostly from my lovely parents. There's the cat. He just opened the door. The first is this hoop stand. It's pretty cool. Let me grab a hoop. So this is kind of like a display thing. It just like sits on a surface, and then your hoop, sorry, wrong side. It has two different sizes. Your hoop just kind of sits in it, and it's like propped up, and it stands up nicely, which if you've ever tried to like stand up a hoop on a bookshelf or something, you know it can be a struggle. So this is kind of a nice alternative. And yeah, I think that's really nice. It's helping me put some of my cross stitch up on different like shelves and like cabinets and things around the house, which I really like. So hoop stands. I think this might have been from Modern Hoopla. I'm not actually sure. But I think if you just look up like embroidery hoop stand on Etsy, you'll find some options. The other thing was another bobbin stand. So I have one of these, a similar one already, but this one I think is really cool because it has this cutout on the side as well, where you can like, let's say put like an entire skein of floss or your scissors or your orts or something like that. So I think that's really nice. It has, you know, slots for all of the bobbins, and then it has magnets to hold your needles, and then the side slot as well. So I haven't actually used this yet, but I'm excited to use it. And that's from Vika's Space. She has her own website, but also an Etsy store, so take a look there. But these are not always available. She does like special releases for them normally. The last thing is also from Vika's Space. It's a needle minder. I can hold it up right, maybe. Also cover my face. It's just a cute little acrylic needle minder with a little landscape on it. It's very small and cute. I like it a lot, so I just need to put it on one of my cross stitches. Maybe I'm just gonna swap it out right now so that I can use it. I almost always am using this little bee. It's like a little enamel bee because I like bees and I like yellow. I use that one all the time. But this one deserves some love because it's new, right? There we go. Look at how cute that is on there. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for the very sweet birthday gifts. And yeah. The other thing that I got that is cross-stitch related was a gift from my grandma, and it's a new floss or just like storage solution that I'm using for my floss storage. So I think I'll take you to my cross-stitch storage and just give you like a little bit of a look at it, and then I'll just like have a voiceover over it. So let's go there. So this is my new cross-stitch storage. It is a like 44 drawer little unit. It has the top with all of the little tiny drawers, and those have my floss in them. I have them organized by color still, and those 4 rows of drawers are absolutely plenty to hold the entire DMC collection, which was really, really cool. I was a little concerned that it might be a tight fit at first, but it fit great. And then the bottom drawers I'm using to store all of my random supplies. So I've got like my little like rubber things that I use to hold back my extra fabric. I've got my pens and needle minders, extra needles, extra floss, like skeins, all kinds of things in these drawers. And it's really nice to have this kind of storage system, because before these were all just kind of like in small boxes or in different random bags, which I don't think is as effective as this, where you can kind of like see what's in all drawers. So I really like that. And also just freed up some space in my calyx that I have below to store some other things that I needed to store there now. So it's not all cross-stitch stuff down there, but it's a lot of my like personal hobby things. So yeah, that's my new supply system for now. I'm enjoying it so far. Okay, so like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I wanted to do a giveaway finally for my shop. So I'm going to be giving away a copy of my very first release called Save the Bees. So here's a picture of that in case you haven't seen it before. I'd love to give away a copy of this pattern to somebody. So if you want to enter for a chance to have me send you the pattern, go ahead and leave a comment below with the word bees in it. B-E-E-S. Leave a comment with the word bees, and also make sure you take a look at the description box and go ahead and fill out the Google form that's linked in there. That way it's really easy for me to find you and like actually send you the pattern when I need to. So I will email you a copy of the PDF pattern for that if you win. So go ahead and leave a comment with the word bees. Make sure you filled out the Google form. If you haven't filled out the Google form, I'm going to draw a different winner because I just don't have time to hunt someone down. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the giveaway. I'll pick the winner in my next video. Okay, and then last section is life updates. So it's been a month and I got to do a couple really fun things to kind of celebrate my birthday with friends and family. I took a trip out to like, I don't know, south of here by like 2 hours. So about 2 hours away, kind of southwest-ish from here, there's a place called Vance Creek Rail Riders. Basically what it is it's these carts with like 4 seats on them that are attached to old railroad tracks, and you pedal to go down the tracks. So myself and my boyfriend and my best friend and her boyfriend all went together, and we pedaled our little cart through just some really pretty nature, lots of trees and flowers and things like that. It was really fun and a really unique experience, so I thought that was really cool. I think there are other rail riders like in a couple places in California, and I'm sure probably in other states as well. But if you have the opportunity to do something like that, I would highly recommend it. It was super fun, and I think I can pop in like a little video here to show you what it was like. Basically just pedal, and then at the end they like pick the carts up off the track, turn them back around, and you pedal back. But on the way back it's uphill, so it's a little bit harder pedaling. And then the nice thing is that the like guide in the back has an engine on their little rail rider, so once they catch up to you, they actually push you and help you pedal back up. So it's really nice. We had a good time. It was really unique. And then for my actual birthday, my parents and my sister were in town. We spent some really nice time around Seattle, paddle boarding on Lake Washington, having some really good Italian food for dinner, just enjoying Seattle things, which was nice. And the other big thing is that I moved. I moved out of Seattle proper, and am now living with my boyfriend in this house, which you've seen before. But now all of my stuff is here too, which is nice. We kind of redecorated the room a little bit, got some new pillows and things, which has been nice. But gosh, moving is exhausting, and I am like just barely now finally getting all of my stuff completely unpacked, like actually in its place. So it's been a process. It took like a whole month to do that basically. And it was, maybe it was a rookie mistake, but because I wasn't really moving a lot of big furniture here because there was already furniture here, I was like, I can just do this with my car, and took a bunch of trips back and forth over multiple weeks to move all my stuff here instead of just like getting a U-Haul and doing it all at once. So it's a little chaotic, but it's done, so that's good. The last big thing that I've been working on lately is with STEM Pals, which is the science outreach organization that I'm currently a co-lead of. We're just a group of graduate students at the University of Washington doing outreach things. In the summer, we've been going to local Seattle summer camps and doing little STEM lessons. So we've done like circuit soldering, and we've done wind-powered cars, and we've done microbiology and all this really fun stuff. Along with that though is a lot of expenses to help support these activities, and unfortunately as a group of graduate students we don't necessarily have a lot of personal funds we can pour into something like this, and also we've been struggling to identify funding sources at the university and elsewhere that can help support us. So recently we opened a GoFundMe for STEM Pals. So if you're interested in supporting the work that we're doing or learning more about it, I will leave the link to the GoFundMe in the description below, and I would really love it if you guys wanted to check that out. Please do feel free to share with your communities. We would appreciate any help we can get, whether or not that's a monetary donation or just support in sharing what we're working on. So thank you for that. And I think that's all I've got today. I will also include the link to the little like storage shelves that I got from my grandma for my birthday in the description as well. So if you wanted to find those, that link will be there. And I will see you in September with another update, normal Flosstube update, and also a monetization update, which I owe you guys. It's been 6 months since my YouTube channel was monetized, and I want to kind of share what that's been like with you guys. So I will see you in September. Until then, have a great rest of your August, and I'll see you next time. Bye.